All right, man, peace. You know, brothers, I've been telling y'all for a while now about this dude, Russell Westbrook. And his peers have spoken. They agree with me. They agree with Chronicles of Judah 144. Why is it that they agree with me? It's not because Russell Westbrook does not play hard. It's not that he does not try out there on the court. It's not that he does not give his all. Actually, his problem is that he gives a little bit too much of his all. He believes that going 100% on each and every play is going to make up for his lack of basketball IQ. And it just doesn't. It's like someone who thinks that they're better than someone else because they can carry a big basket of fruit on the top of their head back to their village, as opposed to the person who invented the wheel and the first wagon. What's more proficient? What's better? Working smarter or working harder? I choose working smarter each and every time. So players with a higher basketball IQ are always going to go farther in the playoffs than a Russell Westbrook. And I think that many of his peers understand that as well about him. Also, he's kind of obnoxious. I mean, let's be for real. Russell's a pretty obnoxious dude. So anyway, they're going to talk about it. I'm going to chime in.
All right, you guys ready for one more poll? I got another one for you. So in The Athletic, they had also caught our attention when they said, who's the most overrated? I like this poll. Of the 47 players who voted, Draymond Green and Russell Westbrook were tied for first.
Let me say this also. This is also many of Russell's combatants, his opponents in the NBA, telling him, you're on the other side of it, or you're nearing being glaringly on the other side. You're not at your peak anymore. You're on the other side of the mountain. You're still near the pinnacle, but you're starting to walk down the mountain now. We smell some blood in the water, and within 2 years, we're going to start embarrassing you on the basketball court. Players don't talk about how overrated somebody is unless they feel like they're either over the hill or they're getting overpaid. When it comes to Jimmy Butler, Andrew Wiggins, Karl Anthony Towns, I think that many of the players in the league feel like those guys are getting overpaid. When it comes to LeBron James, Draymond Green, Russell Westbrook, I think that players believe that those guys are on the other side of it. They also believe that Draymond is a system player, which he pretty much is for the most part. Kyle Lowry, I've been saying, is the most overrated player in the league for a while now. Kyle Lowry is drastically overrated. Ben Simmons, I could see them calling him overrated because he can't shoot, and he's not improved his jump shot, at least not markedly, from last year. James Harden, we know why they're calling him overrated, because he gets all the calls from the refs. And when he gets to the playoffs, he cannot come through.
As the most overrated players.
Notice that Kevin Durant and Steph Curry are not on this list, though.
Stephen A. Smith, do you have a problem with the assassin himself, Westbrook, being atop the list of overrated players?
No. And I think that if Russell Westbrook is smart, he's definitely going to take this list into account. I doubt that he will, though, because he's just too proud.
I have a problem with both because I think that scoring isn't everything. If that's the case, Dennis Rodman wouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. And I think when you look at Draymond Green, not to say that he's a Hall of Famer, but there's an elevated level of appreciation we should have for what he brings to the table. Scoring isn't everything. If that's the case, Dennis Rodman wouldn't be in the Hall of Fame.
Draymond Green is not Dennis Rodman, no.
And I think when you look at Draymond Green, not to say that he's a Hall of Famer, but there's an elevated level of...
Draymond's going to go to the Hall of Fame. Vlade Divac just got voted into the Hall of Fame. If Vlade Divac can get into the Hall of Fame, Draymond is going to the Hall of Fame.
Level of appreciation we should have for what he brings to the table. In the case of Russell Westbrook, it's an absolute travesty. There's people that's hating. You can't look that...
Oh, boy. You know, Kevin Durant talks about the toxic atmosphere around LeBron James. There's a pretty toxic atmosphere around Russell Westbrook as well. And a lot of these media pundits, they don't understand. You're inhibiting the growth of many of these guys when you act as enablers for their nonsensical behavior. The reason why the players are declaring Russell Westbrook the most overrated player in the league, tied with Draymond Green, is because they're saying all of those triple doubles are cheap. Yes, is he a phenomenal athlete? Is he an ethereal talent? No doubt about it. But is he a player who's going to win you big games? No, he's not. Because his basketball IQ is so low, he's always going to make a major mistake down the stretch of a close game, especially in the playoffs.
Look, the nerve for anybody to associate the word overrated with Russell Westbrook, a walking triple-double, third consecutive year averaging a triple-double, the most...
Right, but is he playing to get triple-doubles or is he playing to win championships? Maybe if you guys stopped applauding him for getting triple-doubles all the time, he might change his game and consider winning championships. When Oscar Robertson won that one championship in Milwaukee, he didn't average a triple-double.
The most athletic point guard we've ever seen in NBA history. It's just jealousy, envy, haterism, and all of that other stuff.
The term hater has become a great defense mechanism for fanboys.
Russell Westbrook is not overrated by any stretch of the imagination. As far as I'm concerned, he's underappreciated.
No, he's not underappreciated. He is overrated. And I think that the NBA players are telling him this for his own good. I believe that the NBA players are trying to convey to Russell Westbrook that you're over 30 years old or you're 30 years old, however old you are, things are not going to get better. They're only going to get worse. So if you want to become a player who actually creates a winning legacy, you're going to have to alter your mindset and your outlook on the game. But he's not going to do that.
Russell Westbrook, as you know, is my favorite player. I love to watch Westbrook, but I understand why they say he's overrated. Westbrook has been on a lot of super talented teams. In fact, the year the Cavs beat the 73-win Warriors, by the time the playoffs rolled around, there was a real sense, in fact, the Thunder were the most talented team.
Absolutely, because they were. The OKC Thunder that year, for you brothers who remember, over the course of the regular season, they had blown something like 15, maybe even 20 games in the fourth quarter, and they still won 55 games. That OKC team was loaded. They were stacked. Their problem was that they had Russell Westbrook as their point guard. So he giveth and he taketh away.
Team. And Westbrook has not yet won a championship, in spite of having many...
He's not a championship player. When we look at the history of the NBA, you have good players, you have great players, and you have championship level players. Every generation has championship level players. And the vast majority of championship level players are who we consider the top 10 or top 15 greatest players of all time. There's a reason for that. Especially in the modern era. When we go down the list of the greatest modern era players, from Dr. J, Moses Malone, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Kareem, Isaiah Thomas, Michael Jordan, Tim Duncan, Shaq, Kobe, LeBron, Steph Curry, KD. All those players, by the time their careers are over, are going to be considered top 10, top 15 all-time great players.
Many opportunities when you consider the rosters he's been on.
And Russell will never be one of those guys.
So I get it. I also understand sometimes I watch him from play to play. I'll be like, best player ever. I don't care what anyone says. And
It's because you're smoking rocks.
very next play, I think, you can't win a championship with this guy. So I understand the swings where he's the type of dude who could be voted most underrated and overrated in the same poll.
Agreed.
He's that kind of player.
But anyway, that's basically it on that. It's just good to see so many of the NBA players come to the understanding, or always have the understanding, of what Russell Westbrook is. He's a great action star, but he's not a great dramatic actor. So peace.